You ever notice sometimes on push, it's because you respawn quickly? You just respawn immediately when they're pushing it? Like you'll just spawn up really fast almost. So basically, when you get that better spawn, so you know that like checkpoint you hit some map, I think it's like 55 meters on like, what is it? I think it's like 55 meters on Esperanza. I think it's like 60 something, 67 meters on New Queen Street. Maybe 60 meters on this one. When you do that, the team that isn't pushing the bot will get an instant spawn when it hits that checkpoint. That's why you spawn up quickly. You'll also get a closer spawn, but like the first time you hit that checkpoint, you get an instant spawn, probably to prevent snowballing, make it a little bit easier to like come back from that. So like, for example, and I'm getting rolled. To give you an example of why I'm even bringing that up is because sometimes like you'll like win that fight, but you only have 3 alive, and then you stay on the bot the whole time, and then you lose because your teammates are coming back from spawn. Meanwhile, they had an instant spawn. And you're just running back. You're like, they're already back there with 5, and you're down 2, and then that can turn the fight pretty quickly, right? So that's why that happens. So one thing I suggest on push, like a tip for push, is if you ever lose numbers in push, damn. Like if you ever lose numbers in push, especially when they cap that first checkpoint, it's better to push the bot as much as you can until they get close and just reset out. Like leave before, unless you have like a really good ult play, you can push it probably like an extra 5 meters and just go. Reset and fight them at the middle of the map. That way you can keep the front spawn and then have a team fight before they can push the bot to a certain spot, which that's a lot of what push is. It just hasn't really evolved into that yet because there's a lot of, it's just, you know, learning the new game mode, learning the new map. So once you learn that and you start to like really disengage out of team fights on push can get a lot more exciting, and you can see yourself win a lot more with that too. At least that, in my opinion, with push. That's like, but I still think, as we saw in chat, a lot of people still type 2 in that. Like that is like, if you don't know they're instant spawning, right? And you're just pushing the bot and you're like, oh, we won the team fight, it's 3v5. Normally, if you don't have that instant spawn, you can probably stay there a lot longer. But if they have that instant spawn, that's why a lot of the time you'll see teams turn fights right at that first checkpoint because they're spawning up immediately. So if they get even one pick, you probably want to reset, right? Obviously, unless you have like Reaper set up with a good ultimate and you can nano boost Reaper, like you can make plays, yes. But if you don't have those ults to like make the play, it's better just to back up a little bit, regroup with your team, and take that early team fight. Because after that, after you get the checkpoint, you know how the bot just stands there and like, this is a good game, by the way. Really popped off right there, chat. No big deal. It was one of my best Doomfist games. Probably was because I didn't actually play Doom there. So one thing about the bot is that when you first get that checkpoint, the bot just stands there. You know what I mean? The bot just stands there and chills. So you have to not only wait for the bot to just stop standing there. After that, though, once you get it past that point, the next time that the bot walks by that spot, the bot just walks past it. So that's why, like, one of the first things you can do in push is learn when to disengage out. When you learn to disengage out of like a push map, and you play that correctly, you actually increase the amount of team fights you use. It requires them to probably use more ultimates and allows you to stack your ultimates. If you end up taking that team fight early there and don't recognize that they all just respawned as 5 immediately and you only have 3, when that happens, you end up either over-ulting or giving them ultimates. You lose that map control, and the team fight happens closer to where they want to take the fight rather than where you want to take the fight. So, yeah. There's definitely different variations of push, but that's something I've learned with push, and the more and more I've learned to disengage out of a team fight on push, it's gotten so much better. It's gotten so much better. In my opinion, at least.